What I'm going to show you today is how to remove the grille assembly on the front of this Dodge Durango. Now before we can remove the grille, the lower front fascia has to come off. Now the top edge just snaps down. You're just going to grab a corner gently and start pulling up until you get them completely released. Now this vehicle has had some body damage before, so you're going to probably see some different things going on. For example, one of the snaps is broke off right here. That was from previous damage. So with the vehicle up in the air, now we can get access to the fasteners that hold the front bumper cover to the vehicle. Now we got a combination of two 10mm on the outer edges, and we got a total of 3 quarter turn fasteners that you just turn and then pull off. Now of course, this vehicle being damaged, it's missing some of them. So we'll go ahead and get the 10s off, and what fasteners we do have, quarter turn, and we'll get them off. This is one of the 3 quarter turns. You'll just grab it, twist it, and pull it off. It's just rectangle shape going up in there. And of course this is the other 10mm. So a total of 2 of these and 3 of these you'll take loose. Now removal of the tire is not necessary. I only took it off so that I could get you some better angles with the camera so you can see everything. All you need to do while it's on the ground is turn your steering wheel all the way to the left or to the right, whichever one, depending on what side you're working on, it gets you a little more access to the fasteners on the front end. Otherwise, like I said, I only took it off to help you see. You don't need to. Now, so that you don't cause damage to the painted surface on this fender flare right here in the front bumper cover area, I recommend taking it off. Now it just snaps around the perimeter, and then right up here where it mounts to the actual front bumper cover, they would normally be 2 plastic rivets, and those you would knock the center pins out, or you would actually drill the centers out. This one being, like I mentioned, had previous repairs done. It's got Christmas tree fasteners, so I'll be taking those out. Otherwise it just unsnaps. Otherwise, the problem you might have is as you're trying to get the bumper cover back on, fender flares hanging here, there may be some contact, may get some scratches. It's best to be safe and take it off. If any of the plastic snaps come unloose and stay attached to the fender, you can pop them off and reattach them to the fender flare. If they break, you're definitely going to need to replace them. That way it stays on like it's supposed to. So this is where the plastic rivets would normally be. Like I mentioned, they put Christmas tree fasteners. Try to go back with the plastic rivets if you can. They hold on a lot better. We'll go ahead and pop these off. And then I've got 2 more fasteners. I've got an 8mm down below and a 10mm up here. And that will be the liner attaching to the front bumper cover. Alright, so the fasteners are off on the front edge going to the front bumper cover. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this and start pulling outward. Take your time. You shouldn't have to use any trim sticks. You should be able to do most of this by hand. Like I said, they are plastic snaps. They can be on there, and it may take a little bit of force. You're not trying to damage it, you're not trying to break it, you're not trying to be rough, but you got to get it off because they're snapped on. So just work it around. And there we go. Bottom one did stay on. We'll take that off and we'll put it on the back side. So these are the little plastic snaps that hold it in place. Around the front edge you don't have any, but around the rest of it you do. And this one will be reinstalling. Otherwise, around the perimeter is what you're going to be looking for. You can see where this one's been broken. Someone's actually used some JB weld to actually put it back on. So when you're taking things apart, if they break, sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it's been broke before. This one's still holding, but that's another repair that someone did instead of replacing the assembly. There's a bottom 8mm, attaches that fabric type fender well liner to the front bumper cover, and then we'll move up to 10. And our 10mm. So with that upper 10mm out, we pull it back. You can actually see there's a piece that's sticking through. There's a threaded stud that sticks through. Now, if you grab the front bumper cover and you pull back and out and off, that releases it. That actually helps hold it in place. So if you go back, we would definitely make sure that you snap it over that and then snap around the perimeter as well. But once you release this side, you've now got everything on the fender well liner taken loose, and now we can actually work on getting it off. Now once we got that fender well liner unbolted from the front bumper cover, and before we take the front bumper cover off, we need to make sure that there's nothing plugged in, such as the fog light. On the fog light, all you gotta do is reach in here, grab the connector, squeeze, pull it off, and we'll repeat the same thing on the driver's side. Right here where the front bumper cover meets the fender, there's a plastic mechanism up under here that everything snaps into. When you get the front bumper cover loose and you're pulling it around, it unsnapped. Also, when you're going back with it, you got to line it up and give some gentle taps to line it. What would probably help at this point is to put some tape on right here, because as we're going back, once again, we don't want to scratch the actual paint on the vehicle. I'm just grabbing some body shop paint, something that's not going to stick that great as far as permanently leave marks or sticky stuff all over it. Put a couple pieces, and that should be enough to stop me from actually scratching the front bumper cover. I'm just trying to make sure it looks the way it came in when it leaves. Alright, so up underneath we've gotten all the fasteners taken loose. We've got the fasteners inside the fender well opening as well, and we've got it unsnapped from the front fender right here. Now we're just going to work our way around. There's some areas where it's going to snap in right here around the headlight. We're just going to work it around. Now keep in mind the grille stays on the vehicle, does not come off with the front bumper cover. And also we did unplug the fog lights. So just grab an edge, start working it. Now you may take a little force. Like I said, I'm not trying to break it, I'm not trying to be rough, but I've got to unsnap it, and there's no easy way to do it. So work your way around. Grab it and sit it off to the side. So here's the area that the front bumper cover goes around the headlight. Right here is where it snaps in place as well. And you got your fingers that go right up under the grill every so often. And when you're going back with it, make sure you give it a couple of gentle taps. Just gentle enough to snap it back in place. Make sure everything is firmly seated. Now with the front bumper cover out of the way, now we can get access for moving the grill assembly. Now, the grill itself looks like it's a separate piece that could have been removed without the front bumper cover. Unfortunately, it's not, because everything you see right here that's black in color up under is actually part of the grill assembly. So we've got two fasteners to take loose. We've got a 10mm over here and a 10mm over there. And once we get those off, we can work on getting the grill assembly off. And we've already loosened up the upper edge at the beginning. Now we should be able to grab it and start working it off. Take your time. Try not to scratch anything that's painted. Let's take a second look at the front grille. Now the mesh area on here. The mesh area is all one piece along with the bottom portion. So the painted area is one. Everything that's black is one solid piece. That even includes the upper portion as well. So if you're going to do any modifications, you're going to have to do a lot. Otherwise, the inserts are one solid piece, unlike the Grand Cherokee you can replace, put aftermarket. I do know that this, currently looking at it, is one solid piece. Now I'm sure there's someone in the aftermarket that's come up with something that either snaps on, or maybe you do some trimming on the back. But that's how that looks, and it's all snapped together, no bolts, no screws, just fingers going into plastic guides, little plastic hooks. So when you're going back with the front grille assembly, as well as the front fascia, the installation is just opposite of removal. There's nothing special you need to worry about. If you follow all the steps you use to take it off, you shouldn't have any problems. If you need two people to help you so that you don't scratch the bumper cover going back on, so be it. Don't forget your tape on the sides so that you don't scratch the fender. And also pay attention to the fender flares as far as the snaps. Otherwise, I believe I showed you everything from start to finish. If you take your time, you shouldn't have any problems. So at this point, this is where I ask for any kind of thumbs up on YouTube. Don't forget you can like me on Facebook. You can check me out on Instagram and Twitter as well. And if you got any comments or suggestions about the video on this Dodge Durango today, or anything Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram related, please feel free to email me at david@motorcitymechanic.com, and I will try to get back to you in a timely manner. Once again, thanks for watching these videos.